number 2. In this chapter, we have to discuss about culture, identity and socialization. In our first topic, we have to discuss about the difference between or the relationship between the individual and the society. Before moving ahead, we should have an idea that what is culture basically mean. The culture is the way of life of a society. In this section further, we examine the social construction of the culture, norms, values, roles and the beliefs and how these influence human behavior. There is no agreed definition of the term culture, but it is used in two main ways. In everyday speech is usually referred to things like art, music and literature. Sometimes it is also referred to things such as the media, fashion and advertising, which are sometimes called popular culture. In this chapter, we are using the term a broader way to mean the whole way of a life of a society. In that sense, every aspect of a human life is influenced by culture. We constantly refer consciously or might be possible not unconsciously to our society or social group for guidelines about how to think and behave. Culture include basically what you eat and drink, with whom and when, how you dress and the care you take over your appearance, the language spoken and unspoken that used to communicate with others, the way you spend your leisure time, the kind of home and family you live in, religious and the spiritual beliefs and the practice, festival and the celebrations. So all these comes under the definition of the culture. There are some elements which basically complete the definition of the culture, and these elements are: number one, we have a symbols. These are anything that carries a particular meaning recognized by people who share the same culture. For example, a cross worn on a chain is a symbol of Christian religious belief, and the shirt with a particular color and crest may show that the person wearing is sports a particular football team. Some countries have a national symbol as well. At number 2, we have a language, basically a system of symbols with sound and the words carrying meanings that allows people to communicate with one another. Again, the language, for example, if you are sitting in India, so the Hindi language would be the part of your culture, and if you are in Pakistan, the Urdu will be the part of your culture, and if you are somewhere like in Afghanistan, then the Afghan like Pashtun language would be the part of your culture. The next one we have basically the values, something standard shared by members of a culture and used to judge whether behavior is right or wrong. These are standard of what is considered good and right that act as basically or guide for what people should think and believes and how they should act. Many people claim to have their own values, but these will shared with one another. At point number 4, we have basically beliefs. Beliefs are the statements that people hold to be true. They are more specific than values basically. At number 5, we have norms. These are a kind of a behavior that society expects of its member in a particular situation. Sometimes norms are divided into two types: mores and folkways. Mores are norms that are widely observed and carry more of a sense of what is wrong or what is right basically. Folkway are the norms for a routine or casual social interaction. Now what does it mean, social interaction? Any situation in which two or more people have social contact with each other, it is considered as social interaction. Norms that are widely accepted and continue over a time are sometimes called custom. Custom is something and norms in a particular society that are widely accepted and carry on over a time. In addition, some norms are given extra weight by used as the basis for rules, regulation, and laws. Norms are usually enforced by informal means, law by formal means. Now, what does it mean basically law? Rules that are given force by being formalized by the government, we consider as law. Values, beliefs, and norms, including mores and folkways, are not always easy to separate in reality. They all basically provide guidelines for how people should behave, but they differ in how specific or general they are. Values include things like a personal space and privacy. In some modern industrial society, these are highly valued basically. From these values drives beliefs such as that is it is a wrong to move into someone's personal space. Knowing that the values are makes it possible to work out what the norms will be even in a new situation. Norms derived from these values include how far away you stand when you're talking to someone and where you sit. For example, on a bus or in a train, norms can usually be traced back to an underlying belief of value. Values and the norms vary between societies, so they are social construction. For example, in some societies, people stand closer to each other when talking than in a normal or in modern industrial society. There are also society where it is normal and right to sit next to a stranger on a bus. But if there are empty seats somewhere else, the norms here are based on values about personal space. Our distinctive value in a modern industrial society is the desirability of being wealthy and owning material goods. Possessions were considered to have a little value other than to be given away. Norms and the values also change over time in a society. Norbert described in his book the civilizing process how in the Middle Age there were less constraint on individual behavior than there are today. The state was weak and unable to control individual behavior to any great extent, and those with the power could use the violence and force to get their own way. But as the state grew in a power, civilizing process started. It had been common for strangers to share a bed in for a pupil to eat with their fingers from common bowls, and for pupil to go to the toilet in the public. By the late medieval period, books on etiquettes were advising the nobility but burping, breaking wine, spitting, and picking one's nose in a public, uncouth and bad manners. In a modern society, there are norms that cover more areas of life. Elias also suggests that it becomes the norm to control emotion. People still have violent and intense emotion but are now shocked by emotional display when they would not have been centuries ago, because norms and values are different in a different societies around the world and different in a different period of a history. We can say that they are socially constructed. More we have most norms are associated with basically status, which is the position someone has in the society. You have the status of a sociology student. Your teacher status is that of a teacher, but you both have other status too. For example, in your family, you might be your status might be a son or a daughter, brother or a sister. In traditional societies, most status were ascribed, that is, they were decided at birth, with the individual unable to choose or decide their status for themselves. At this stage, it is helpful to think as basically uh, the role of if we talk about the role is something, the pattern of a behavior expected of someone's because of their status in the society. A role is like a script to follow in a play, but it is one of that gives you some choice over how you act like, or how you act it out. You may be a good student or lazy one, for example. At this stage, it is helpful to think more about what is meant by society and the culture. There are very closely related and sometimes interchangeable terms, but they are different. Culture and societies cannot exist without each other. Society is basically made up of institutions. We are talking about basically here social institutions. It basically made up both formal ones such as legal and education system, and informal ones such as families. Culture is about how these institutions work, setting norms and expectation about the roles people should play. At the macro level, we talk about the culture and the society. At the micro level, about the individual and identities. Identities is something referred to our sense of who we are, who we see ourselves, and the way in which we think we are similar to and different from others people. An inescapable part of this how about how other people see us, judge us. In other way, our sense of ourselves basically comes to a large extent from others. Other people may give us feedback about ourselves and our behavior, but even without feedback, we can't put ourselves in a positions of other and imagine how they would see us. Social identity is like an image of ourselves that is basically formed through interaction with others. No man is an island. Identifying ourselves as a male or the female is our gender identity. We also develop basically identities in a group and in a situation such as family, at work, at school. We see ourselves as having a certain characteristics such as being a good friend or being a tough boss. Identities connect individual to the macro level, and in the sense that through our identity we can see ourselves in the context of our culture, linking our inner selves, who we think we really are, with the roles we occupy basically in the society. So here we will close the topic of the culture. We discussed some of the elements